Hello, Paragon fam.
Happy New Year!
If you're as excited as we are, you'll surely be jumping as you're watching this right now. Welcome to 2024. Drum rolls.
Bang bang. I feel like throwing banger.
It's just a feeling.
Firework. Pa pa. Everywhere. All
It's a
around.
feeling. We're so excited that God has spared our lives to this very moment and to seeing a new year.
Compliments of the season, guys.
Compliment of the season and welcome to a new year. How does it feel to be in a brand new year? How does it feel to be in a brand new year that you've never experienced before?
Refreshing.
That's the word. It feels refreshing. It feels like I just hear the sound of newness.
Mm-hmm.
Newness all around in our career, in our finances, in all areas of our lives. We welcome you once again to this new year.
And having experienced the rain, the rain. Year 2023. Now we're back to 2024.
2024, and we're
A year of newness. A year of
yes,
freshness.
a year of exponential growth
Exponential growth on
in
all
all
sides.
areas. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's so amazing to see that you
You
are
are
watching
one
us.
of us. Yes.
Yes, and you're watching us once again. We want to thank you for
Thank you.
all the support you granted us in 2023. Thank you for streaming our videos. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for dropping your comments.
Amazing ones.
We have been blessed even by the comments. And then I remember our previous video where we said anyone interested in the template should send a mail, and it's great to see that we received a heartfelt mail. Thank you so much for your support. You are amazing, and you are the real
MVP.
MVP. We are a family of love, and my name is Blessing Mojisala Oduni.
Amadibayo Oluwatobi Oduniyi.
And together we are
The Paragon lovers.
and we have a mandate
To showcase God's template in marriage. Thank you.
You're welcome once again. I'm sure you're wondering what exactly are we doing today. This new year, we're starting it on a clean slate. So today we're going to be talking about, should I say, mistakes that we made in 2023 and how we can do better in 2024. And also it will be revolving around being intentional about growth. That's one thing that's been our personal mantra since we knew each other. Our personal mantra has always been what?
Intentional about growth.
About growth. And then we're just going to be delving right into the video. Yeah, just come with us and stay tuned. So I think okay, so 2023 was an amazing year, right? And I'm grateful to God. I can't believe I'm even using this. Anyway, we progress and life advances. So it was an amazing year, right? But there's some loopholes I've noticed personally, and I'm looking forward to improving it. And there's this thing about how that we go about setting New Year resolutions at the beginning of the year. We are intentional. We say this one, that one, I must achieve this before the year runs out. But somewhere along the way, we notice that the energy dwindles, and we are just at that point of anything goes. Because I'm a survivor alone is enough reason to keep moving and keep giving thanks and all. But one major thing I noticed for myself in 2023 was not being consistent. Maybe not for myself, but for both of us, even as a family, not being consistent. And how do I mean? So I'm sharing this very short story. It's about our YouTube. So we've gotten this mandate, like we knew that we were going to have a YouTube channel, right? Not for we just knew it was a part of the package, it was a part of the assignment. And at the earlier stages of last year, in fact, we had gotten all the topics, every single thing we needed to start. But seemingly, we did not have the gadgets, and we just, if you notice, the first videos that we pushed out were our wedding videos because already we had those ones edited and it was outsourced. So it was just easy for us to post it. And after it was now time for us to kickstart the major content and all. But somehow, should I say we allowed side talks and distraction to just like to dwindle that interest and passion, and we just stopped for a long time until late last year when we saw, although while we stopped we still had the individuals come to our own Just let individuals say, oh, I was directed to you by God, and like looking at areas of relationships,
Yeah.
marriage, that God would have us like speak to them about and all. And then we knew that so many souls were attached to this, and we couldn't just go about it casually, and we needed to start. And funny enough, when we started this last year, I think it was September, we picked it up again in October. I really cannot remember the month. But it was like we had like a long, like almost like over 6 months break, and when we picked it up again, it was like, where have you guys been? And we that were thinking that the gadgets were not enough and all, we just started with what we had, and the
Because
growth
it's still
has
what
been
we use.
amazing. Of course, that's what we still using. Well, we're still using our trusting God for expansion. But the growth and result has been huge. And I was
Mm.
just wondering that, okay, what if we were consistent from that beginning of the year? The growth would have been massive. It would have been better. The metrics would have been more. The impact would have been more. So that's just one lesson that I learned last year, to be consistent with anything, any assignment that God has placed in my hands. I've vowed to be consistent. I know that might be very hard, but I'm just going to be intentional about being consistent. So consistency is my first lesson from last year. Yeah. So over to you.
All right. So basically, as you said, consistency. Looking at it, 2023 is is a huge milestone. At 365 days, take for example, you had so many plans, so many resolutions, so many goals that you aspire to acquire, like the popular saying. But then, based on different factors, based on circumstance, based on peer pressure, based on your career, based on your job, based on life itself, like all the daily routine, the daily running around, and the daily activities, you tend to want to push away or sideline some of these things. And because you feel, okay, is this the right time? Like we're always waiting for, okay, the right time. You know that word, the starting itself is more or less like the challenging aspect. But once you start, once you dip yourself or you dip your leg in the river, then you find out that it's actually not as ambiguous as you play it out in your head. So we want to believe that as we went through this, we want to believe many of our viewers as well, in one way or the other, uh, seemingly have this same challenge. And now we've not come to say, of course, 2024, we want to believe so many of us would have written our goals, would
New
have
Year
written our
resolution,
New Year resolutions as regards,
surely
okay, these
forward.
are the things I need to achieve and all that. Perhaps some of us are even feeling overwhelmed already that, okay, the ones I wrote down last year, I didn't even achieve about 20% or 50% about of the goal. So why should I go ahead to draw out other plans? Now, some of these things will not work the way they are meant to, especially when we draw out plans or we draw out goals and we don't on a regular basis go to review them and check them. It's not enough, of course, as much as possible that you have your new year goal and you run with it. It is not just enough to have all of that, but then to always checkmate, not in the basis of quarterly. You know, at times you want to wait till like 3 months or 6 months or 4 months thereabouts to go back to review yourself and all of that. I think one of the things on my own part that I look forward to watch to work on this year 2024 is daily review, daily evaluation of my day, of my goals, and all that. Of course, as it were, if it's too long, maybe a weekly basis, both and based on our own parts. That's what we've resolved to work upon. So we believe that if some of these things, if you have a to-do list for the day, and at the end of the day you should be able to go back to checking, okay, these are the things I planned out for myself. Was I able to achieve this? If I was able to achieve it, what did I do better? What am I not doing well? How do I go about it? So if you pick it bit by bit, you'll find out that some of these things will not become too ambiguous for us to
To
work
achieve.
with. I pray God will help us. In
Amen.
Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much for your service. So one thing I've learned from what you said is learning how to seemingly section our big goals into smaller goals. So one thing I'm intentional about doing this year is I would set goals, right? Or I've even set goals, but then
Mm.
I'm going to know how to tailor it down to a weekly basis, on a daily basis. How
Mm.
are my actions leading to achieving, helping me achieve those goals that I'm
Mm.
putting down? So that it's not at the end of the year again and I'm just looking at myself, am I really serious with life? Am I really serious with destiny? Like our pastor would say, and also it's okay to be intentional, but
Mm.
you have to like take stock of your goals on a daily basis, not even on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. So how do your actions daily, how does it match up with the goals you've set?
Mm.
And even taking it up from the goal setting and all, I've heard several people say, oh, that's how we set goals and will not achieve it, or that's how
Mm.
we set
Mm.
goals and will not put this when I've heard some people say that that's how you set goals and you will not achieve it, or that's how like you set goals and something something. That's how they used to say, you
Mm.
set goals, you will not. But it's okay to also know that goal setting is not outdated. Goal setting is not old fashioned. Goal setting would always keep you at the cutting edge, like of achieving and fulfilling purpose. You cannot say you want to fulfill purpose without setting goals.
Mm.
It's very, very, very important. So one thing we said is consistency. Another thing we've also said is sectioning your goals and setting the right goals. Set
Mm.
realistic goals. Like I think that's another thing that affected, or maybe the one mistake that I want to learn from last year.
Mm.
Some of the goals were big goals, right? But they were not realistic. It doesn't mean we should not dream big, but some of those goals were not realistic.
Mm. Then the other part that I was going to talk about is being accountable. You need to be accountable to someone. Um, as regards your plans for the year 2024. Now, of course, I have my partner, so I'm accountable to her. She's accountable to me. But how they we want to believe some of our viewers are not married, so you should have accountability partner. It could be your friend, it could be your parents, it could be someone older, it could be your pastor, and all of that. So if you have someone you're accountable to, one way or the other, it becomes easy to be able to achieve some of these goals if you have someone you're accountable to. Another aspect to which I'm going to see, or I'm looking at it is, if you have people of like minds that you know that if you're looking at someone, it becomes, and the person is moving forward, people in your area of influence, who are the people that surround you? Are they people that um you envy? Are the people that when you see their drive, you be like, oh, this guy is already pushing hard? Or I think, for example, maybe in the area of spiritual growth, if the person you have around is the type that you know that in one way or the other, he or she is always waking up maybe at night or at morning or during the day to pray or to read these bibles and all of that. On your own part, if you feel lazy and constantly, if you see this partner or if you see this person doing all of that, like in one way or the other, it rubs
It
up on
rubs off
you,
on
and you be like, okay, I think I just have to be spiritually at alert and pick up whatsoever it is that I should. So people that you surround yourself with matters a lot, especially in this year 2024. If they are the people that are very lazy, and you on your own part, you're still struggling to find your footing, some way, somehow, it draws you back and you become, so that way you're not accountable to them, you're not accountable to yourself, and you just keep moving as the day goes by.
Okay, so that brings me to the next point. There's this quote that stuck with me for the longest time, saying that if there are two things that will distinguish you now
Mm,
and you in 5 years,
of course.
the friends you keep. You have to be intentional about your choice of friends. It's not everybody that can be your friend. You have to be very, 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 very intentional about your choice of friends. And anyway, Sha, that's defining relationships too is very, very
Of
important because
course.
many a times in this part of the world or this part of the country, we call everybody our friend as long as there's a little
Mm,
click between you and the other person. So, oh, that person is your friend. No, that person might not be your friend, my dear. The person might just be your church member. No, that person might not be your friend. Person might just be your neighbor. That person might not be your friend. Person might just be your acquaintance. That person might not be your friend. The person might just be your colleague. So we need to be able to know how to put people in their places.
Hmm.
But the people we call our friend, these are people that you are going through anything they should know. These are people that you can pray together with, that you can share bodies together with. These are people that in times of need you are there for them. In times of need they are also there for you. So
Sure.
you really want to be sure about
Your friends.
understanding your relationships and knowing genuinely who your friends are. That's one thing we want to do this year. Another thing that I said is the friends you keep, the first thing, and the second one is the books you read. So that's one thing I did really do in 2023, and I've been saying to myself that no, this 2024, I have to read more. I have to be intentional about the books I read. So for us, we're going to keep committing like we've done before. Remember, there are times
Hmm.
when we did like two books, one book at least in a
In a
month.
month,
So
and
that's
it
one
was.
thing we would go back to as a
Hmm.
family, and we're sharing with you. The books you read, be intentional about reading, committed readers and
And
potential
leaders,
readers.
yeah.
Be committed about reading because there's no how you read and your mental capacity is enlarged. You are able to speak as and where you know like there's just this level of wisdom that comes with reading. So reading is very, very important. And
Hmm.
then not just reading, what do you read? What do you digest? I think we want to talk about the reading too.
Of course, that's profound. You said it already. So the more you give yourself to reading, the better you become. Of course, readers become great leaders in the future. So ensure that, of course, it's one of our resolutions. We're not saying we've actually um, achieved all of these things. No,
No,
of course, these are some of the mistakes in a
that
way
we made.
that we made even in year 2023. I think at some point we started with reading, or maybe due to different activities, different
Responsibilities,
responsibilities,
activities.
all left and right, and all that. And I think we, at some point, we just pushed it aside, and it affected the whole lot. And we've been able to draw out that, and we know that these are the things we are going to work on, and we believe that we're going to be better. Now it is not enough. Now I used to say something that in as much as you're aware of something, then in a way you're responsible for that thing. If you are not aware of certain things, if you are not aware of certain measures or things that you think you're lacking, if you are not aware of it, then it becomes a bit rather difficult. The solution, of course, remains very, very far. But the moment you can imagine it, and you can see that, okay, these are the areas to which I need to work on, definitely solution is close by, and just you just need to execute and start planning yourself towards achieving all of that. Of course, 2024 to so many might look so overwhelming that, okay, where do I start from?
That's
Now do not be overwhelmed. Do not allow yourself get worked out on different measures, on different goals. Ensure that your goals are specific, they are measurable. You know all of these
achievable, realistic,
realistic,
time
and they are
bound.
time bound. Ensure that you have different measures to it. Do not set too in the name of, okay, I want to dream big. You now have to set one particular dream or goal that you feel that automatically will rather take more or less like a miracle
To achieve.
to
And
achieve.
then when you don't achieve it at the end
You
of
will
the day,
now
you're not feeling
feel
bad.
bad and all that. So why not pick them bit by bit? Okay, these are the things I need to do. Start with the little ones, and step by step evaluate yourself. Break it down in bits. Ensure that you review and evaluate yourself on a daily basis. And once a week is over, ensure that you evaluate yourself once this week is over. Okay,
Mm,
from Monday till Sunday, what have I been able to achieve? I stated that I was going to do this and do that. Have I been able to? Now, do not feel bad if you are not able to achieve them, but rather pick up what are the measures, what are the things that I need to do to be able to cut out on some of these excesses. Another thing I was going to talk about is retreat.
mm,
Retreats, we necessarily do not have to wait till the end of the year before we
that's
retreat, especially
true.
in this part of the world. We are too occupied with a whole lot that we don't even know where to retreat, so we'll be able to draw strength in some things. So I believe this year 2024 is what we'll also be intentional about. There are
Yeah,
times
as a
whereby we need to,
family.
as family, we need to retreat from different activities. Of course, it does not have to. You have to be able to plan it well anyway, so that you won't
And
retreat
totally. Mm.
and go and cut out of some things and you are not. Maybe some responsibilities
That they need
expected you
to
for and
maybe
you are not.
work
So you
and
might
say
need to
you're
be able to.
retreating.
You might need to be able to plan it well. So if you retreat yourself
Like often,
often, then it becomes
not just once a year.
it becomes better for you to be able to check back or go back on some of the you go back on your drawing board and see how far you've been, how far your progress level has been. It is not enough to just remain living, but then
Mm,
we should be existing. We should make impact. We should
mm.
ensure that we are giving values to people around us, both at our place of work, in our church, in our neighborhood, in different areas. I believe that way we get better.
Yeah, yeah, that was so profound and deep. Thank you so much, sir. And for me personally, one thing I'm looking forward to improving on is being proactive. So when I
Hmm.
say proactive, for me, some of the professional courses I took last last year, there
Hmm.
was even one that I could not complete because I was like at the time when the deadline was approaching, so many other responsibilities I was involved in it and I couldn't even do it. But one thing I'm telling myself this year is for all the courses I do, for everything that I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to allow procrastination set in.
Hmm.
So I'm going to do it like, okay, so I know that I'm taking this course for 3 months. I don't wait till it's the third month. That's one thing I used to do. Maybe because God has blessed me with a very
Spontaneous.
spontaneous and sharp memory and all. I would now wait till it's like the third month, or say they say submit something by 11:59. I could now wait till that last day or 2 days before that last day and now start all the courses I meant to have done in 3 months and now start that part 2 days before, and then I'll still eat it and be fine. But I noticed that over time, most especially this last year, it didn't work. It affected me. So one thing I'm doing and I'm thinking about is being proactive. So being proactive is,
Hmm.
there's an event that's meant to come up in 6 months. I'm already planning from now. What are the things I need? What are the resources I need to put in place? Even the courses and all. So being proactive is one thing I want to work on in 2024. Like all those times that I would have to wait till the dying minutes before, taking those courses seriously. I would really like that to change this year, 2024. Like all of those courses that, in fact, there was a 6 month course I did last year, and I did not take the assignment and test till I heard that the deadline was in 2 days.
Spontaneous.
You know, yes, I know that God has blessed me with a spontaneous memory, right? And I'm grateful for it, but I really do not want to attack things like let it wait till the dying minutes before I now
Hmm.
do that.
Hmm.
It really affected me a lot, even to the point of my professional exam. And
Uh-huh.
that's one thing I'm really intentional about. If I know that I have courses to do, I start to do them at the beginning of the month down to the end.
Well, so basically, this is applicable to the couple, applicable to her is applicable to me as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we trust that as we enter into this year already, we trust that God will help us, and it's one
Mm-hmm.
of the things we are going to be working at to not to delay, not to procrastinate, but then to take the bull by the horn. So that's the word. So once it is set, you definitely ensure that you pick it up from there.
And then
So
time management.
all right, so we spoke about time management as well. Um, it's one of our goals as well this year, such that if a meeting is stated for a certain time, we ensure that we are there. Now, looking at it, all these little foxes, if they are not well taken care of, if we don't put attention to them, you find out that a little here, a little there, you keep drawing back, you
Sports
keep drawing
event.
back, and before you know it, you go back to. There's this popular saying: people tend to put an African time to an allocated event,
Mm-hmm.
especially in this part of the country. They be like, okay, if we say it's three, people will definitely come by 4, 5 thereabouts, and
Mm-hmm.
we also give them the road to. So it's one of the things that we hope to work on this year, that whatsoever time we'll take our time seriously, and we ensure that that will also help in other aspects. So basically, all that we've said so far: accountability, personal
Consistency.
consistency, personal development, time management, and all. We believe that all of this put together will help us to ensure that our 2024 is going to be on a very smooth ride.
Yes, yes. And regarding personal development, I don't really think we've touched on that. So one thing we did in 2023 that we are intentional about as a couple is growth,
Hmm.
and we're intentional about taking certifications, adding value to ourselves and all. But
Basically,
we really did not do enough of it in 2023. And no, we have been saying to ourselves that no, this year 2024 we are starting on a very high note. We have to take extra degrees. We're
hmm,
ready to do that. We have to take at least an online course in a month. We are
hmm.
ready to do that spiritually, studying. So there's this thing we used to do before, and then it kind of dropped in 2023. And we're saying to ourselves, no,
No, I'm going to
regarding
pick it.
characters of the Bible, there was a time where we would pick all of the characters of the Bible, do an intensive
In-depth.
study on
Yeah.
each character,
Hmm.
lifestyle, how it applies to our lives, what God is saying about this character, or we
Mm-hmm.
didn't it reduced in 2020 and we are saying to ourselves, no, we must pick this up in 2024
By the
because
grace
we
of
know
God.
that, there's something about reading, there's something about studying God's word, there's something about understanding the mind of God per
Hmm.
time and per season. And we're saying to ourselves that we cannot just allow it, or we cannot just live our lives casually. So these are
Hmm.
things that we are really intentional about doing this year 2024. We're intentional about studying certifications, online courses, professional courses. We're going to be doing a lot of that this year too. And one thing we're trying to encourage you to do is invest in yourself.
Hmm.
Invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Cannot overemphasize invest in yourself. So
Investment is key.
investment is very, very key. So one thing we are going to be doing this year too is investing in ourselves. Like personal development is a form of investment.
Hmm.
And there were times where we said, oh, as a couple, we're meant to go out at least just to unwind. Because the truth of the matter is that we do a lot of hard work, but sometimes we just let it go because we feel, oh, there was no budget allocated to it. So it's something we're trying to work on this year. That see, we would from the initial concept, from the um from the initial stage, we already have our plans, right? And then we have budget allocated to each of these things so that it won't be the time where we're meant to say, for example, have a couple dinner or family dinner, and then we'll not start saying that, oh, there's no money for that, there are other things we have to do and all. But when we have it planned, we have budget allocated, it will be easier for us to say, oh, so this is what we have set for it. Let's just go with it and all.
Alright, so basically, if you watched this certain point, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for being a part of all that we have done so far. We appreciate your love, we appreciate everything so far, and we hope that if you've enjoyed to this present moment and you have yet to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button. And as well, we look forward to receiving your comments. We enjoy it when we read your comments. Please send in your
Mm-hmm.
comments. We'll definitely respond to it. The last video we sent out, we received a mail and it was a profound one, and it really touched our heart, and we believe we've been able to execute and attend to such. So we look forward to your comments. Please share to friends, to families, to loved ones, and to your neighbors.
And we know that you've learned a great deal from this video, and 2024 is going to start on an amazing note. We are not just going to set goals, or we've not just set goals for 2024. We are going to ensure that those goals are being actualized, and by
Yes.
this time 2025, when we are doing a review video like this, or saying, oh, things we have to do better in 2025, it will be great, 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 and our level of growth will have improved or increased by nothing less than 80%. Thank you so much, everyone, once again. You are the real
MVP.
MVP.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you. Stay blessed. Celebrate you. Bye.